Hi, in this video I wanted to talk a bit more about drawing and how I fill the pages of my sketchbook. So let's get started. In the first pages of this sketchbook I was experimenting with some ink drawings, and in this sketchbook I really like to see it as a place where I can experiment and I don't have to keep a certain style. And for me, drawing is really similar to having a diary. It's a way of recording the world around you and your inner world and your interests. And it's also really interesting to see in a few years when you look back at the sketchbook how you've changed as a person, and your drawing style I think will change too with how you are as a person. And for me that's one of the things I love the most about drawing, that it's so close to who you are as a person. For a few years now I've been making these fictional book covers for books I read or books I didn't read, and I really like to practice my hand lettering and the fonts I can make a bit so they don't all have the same handwriting. And here I practice some figure drawings that I find really hard actually, but when you practice it a lot you can see some progress. And here are some paper scraps I have laying around, and that's a really fun tip to make faces with them. And because you don't choose these shapes yourself, they can really inspire you to make different shapes with drawing and with paper. And another tip I also really like to use is to draw the same subject but in two different ways. So like I did with the flowers in the sketchbook, and earlier on I also draw the flowers in a different way. I don't know what's this supposed to mean, but it's also a paper scrap portrait, I think. This is some cutouts which I think are really fun because they kind of force you to make something with the drawing you have on the next page. And here are just some more diary-like lockdown pages. And the lockdown was really getting to me, and I just started drawing. And these drawing inspired by some children's book I saw when I was younger with the flip page. They really cheered me up because it just looked so bizarre, all these faces I did not intend to make together. And that's also inspired me to see things in a different way. Here are some drawings I did with paint, and I don't think I'm that much of a fan of them. They're giving me a bit of Fiona vibes from Shrek. And here's another cutout portrait. And here I started to experiment some more with shapes, and I really wanted to make objects in a bit more graphic design, more like stylized way. And I really like to draw teacups apparently, so this is my favorite page actually, with all the objects together. And here I also try to well, this one not, but to put things more minimal together and with less lines, so it would look a bit more cohesive. Here was drawing for a comic I made, and my interest in comics really grew this period. So I also made a series of 10 about the Dutch politics, which started here. And I really had to keep up with the news and practice my comic making, but I really like doing it. And here was another project I started with a puppet. some more ink drawings because the paper suited the ink really well. And you guessed it, more paper scraps and what I imagined the scraps to be, like butterflies, for instance, here. And here's some puppets I made in the negative space of the paper scraps. Here's the piece of paper I cut the shoes out. Well, here are a lot of drawings I did in a short period of time because I really wanted to start my next sketchbook, because the sketchbook was a bit too big for my liking. The layout is really weird in big sketchbook because you either have to make really detailed work or the negative space looks a bit bland to me. So here are some drawings with Posca markers and some more figure drawing I did to end the sketchbook with. And with the end of the sketchbook, I would like to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.